All right, let's dive into Zoom Communications.
Yeah.
We're looking at their recent SEC filing.
Okay.
It covers their Q3 2025 earnings report and some really interesting changes to the company.
Oh.
So we'll break down the big stuff, the important parts,
Yeah.
and then analyze what it all means for Zoom's future.
Sounds good.
So this is more than just an earnings report.
Yeah.
Zoom's clearly, going through some big transformation.
It seems like it.
And these documents,
Yeah.
they kind of give us a peek into how their strategy is changing.
I think you're right.
So the first thing that I noticed was the name change.
Oh, yeah.
Zoom Video Communications.
Right.
Which is now just Zoom Communications, Inc.
Dropping the video.
Yeah, dropping the video. It's a bold move.
It is.
What do you think? What are they trying to tell us?
I think it definitely shows that they're moving beyond just video conferencing.
Okay.
Remember all those announcements at Zoomtopia about AI Companion 2.0? Right.
And those paid AI add-ons?
Right.
And all the industry-specific AI customizations they're doing. So this name change, it's like it goes with, their big push to become what they're calling an AI-first work platform.
Okay. That's a lot bigger than just meetings.
Way bigger.
So they want to be more than just, the video call app.
Right.
But how does that actually, show up in their finances?
Exactly.
Let's look at the numbers.
Okay.
Their total revenue for Q3 2025 was $1.177 billion.
Okay.
Which is up 3.6% year over year.
All right.
So what do you think about that? Is that good growth?
I mean, it is growth.
Okay.
But it's lower than what analysts were expecting.
Okay.
And it's kind of uneven, across different parts of the business.
Okay.
So enterprise revenue.
Right. The money from businesses.
Exactly. Grew a lot faster, like 5.8%.
And reached $698.9 million.
Wow.
But their online revenue.
From
individual users.
From us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stayed flat.
Oh, wow.
At $478.7 million.
That flat online revenue.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Could this mean that Zoom's main customer base is kind of shifting?
Maybe.
Are they leaning more on businesses now?
It's possible.
To keep growing?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, I know I started using Zoom during the pandemic.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But maybe we're not using it as much now.
I think that's true for a lot of people. I think that's part of a bigger trend.
Okay.
Like that pandemic surge in video conferencing is kind of stabilized. And now the market's just full of free options.
It's saturated.
Totally saturated.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that growth in that area has,
plateaued.
Yeah.
So that puts pressure on Zoom, right?
Right. I think so.
To find new ways to make money.
Yeah.
It seems like they're betting on businesses.
Yeah.
Businesses that are willing to pay for a platform that's more integrated, more features.
Yeah.
Especially as more companies are doing that hybrid work model.
Exactly.
So speaking of investing.
Okay.
Zoom's been getting some big clients.
Oh, really?
They're high-value customers.
Like the big spenders.
Yeah. The ones spending over $100,000 in the last year.
Wow.
Increased by 7.1%.
Okay.
They've got 3,995 of those customers now.
That's impressive.
And they've got a total of about 192,400 enterprise customers.
So those high-value customers, they're really important.
In what way?
Well, they're usually not as worried about price.
Okay.
And they can bring in more profit for Zoom.
Okay.
So growing that segment,
it's
a smart move, I think,
Yeah.
for long-term stability.
But are they just growing revenue or are they actually profitable?
Yeah, that's the question.
Because investing in all this new technology, all these features,
it can't be cheap.
It can't be cheap.
Well, Zoom's actually doing pretty well.
Okay.
They're maintaining a healthy GAAP operating margin, 15.5%.
Okay.
And a really strong non-GAAP operating margin.
Okay.
38.9% for Q3 2025.
Wow. That's really good.
It is.
Okay. And on top of that, their free cash flow, the cash they have after operations and investments.
Right.
That went up a little bit.
Okay.
To $457.7 million.
So what do you think? What are your thoughts on those numbers?
Well, 38.9% non-GAAP operating margin.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It is.
It shows they're managing their costs well.
Yeah, they're being efficient.
But is that going to last?
That's a good question.
As they put more money into AI,
Yeah.
And expanding their platform.
Makes you wonder.
And what about that free cash flow?
Right.
What does that tell us?
So free cash flow, it's really important for any company. It gives them that flexibility, to reinvest in growth, maybe make acquisitions.
Okay.
And potentially give back to shareholders.
Which Zoom has been doing.
Yeah, they have.
They've been buying back a lot of their stock.
They have.
They repurchased about 4.4 million shares in Q3.
Yeah.
And their board just okayed another $1.2 billion for buybacks.
Wow.
Bringing the total to a massive $2 billion.
So share buybacks, they can be a way to increase earnings per share.
Okay.
And it often shows that management is confident about the future.
Yeah, like they're saying, we think our stock is worth more.
Exactly.
So we're buying it back.
We're buying it back, yeah.
But is that the best way to use their cash?
That's the question.
Right.
It's an interesting question.
Some people would say that money would be better spent on research and development, new products.
Yeah.
Maybe even buying other companies.
Yeah.
Right?
Strategic acquisitions.
Yeah, strategic acquisition.
To help them grow in the future.
It's a tough balance,
It is.
Short-term gains versus long-term growth.
Exactly.
They seem to be trying to do both, right?
Yeah, they're trying to walk that line.
Invest in their platform, but also make the shareholders happy.
Yeah, keep everyone happy.
It'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
Absolutely.
What do you think about their strategy so far?
It's early to say for sure, but their projections for the rest of the year look okay.
Okay.
Their Q4 2025 revenue forecast is between $1.175 billion and $1.188 billion.
All right.
And for the whole fiscal year 2025, they're projecting between $4.656 billion and $4.661 billion.
So pretty much in line with what they've been doing.
It seems that way.
Okay.
Which could make investors feel good.
Yeah.
But it suggests a pretty, stable and predictable next quarter.
Okay.
It's always good to compare this guidance to what they've said before and what analysts are expecting.
So no big surprises there.
Not really, no.
But it does make you wonder,
Yeah.
what's next for Zoom?
For sure.
They're clearly trying to be more than just a video conferencing company.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like their Zoom Contact Center and Workvivo products are gaining some traction.
Absolutely.
Zoom Contact Center just got a record deal in EEA.
Oh, wow. Really?
Which is Europe, the Middle East, and Africa.
Yeah.
For over 20,000 seats.
That's huge.
And Workvivo.
Yeah.
Their platform for employee communication and engagement.
Right.
Got its biggest deal ever with a Fortune 10 company.
Wow. Those are some big wins.
Yeah, it seems like their strategy of building a wider communications platform is starting to work.
It seems to be.
But it's still early.
It is early.
What do you think?
I think those wins are definitely important.
Okay.
They show that they can succeed beyond just meetings.
Yeah.
And that they can get customers who were like a more complete solution.
Okay.
And that's really important for their long-term growth strategy.
Especially with the slowdown we talked about.
Exactly.
In the online user segment.
That's right.
All right, so we've covered a lot.
Yeah, we have.
The name change, financial performance, the push for a bigger platform, and these recent wins with their products.
Right.
Sounds like Zoom's at a really important point in their journey.
They are, yeah. We've seen their ambitions, their financial strength, some early successes, but there are also challenges ahead, right?
Yeah, of course.
As they navigate this, this changing landscape.
Absolutely.
So what stands out to you so far?
I'm really intrigued by their AI stuff.
The AI initiatives.
Yes. It's clear they're like all in on AI to set themselves apart and make their platform better.
Right.
But like you said,
yeah,
the competition in AI-powered workplace solutions.
Oh, it's fierce.
It's getting really intense.
It is.
Yeah, it seems like every company's talking about AI now.
Yeah, it's the buzzword.
But Zoom, they've already got a huge user base.
They do. They do.
So if they can, successfully integrate AI into their products in a way that actually helps businesses.
In a way that adds value.
Yeah, that could be a big advantage.
Oh, absolutely. Think about it.
Yeah.
AI could automate meeting summaries.
Okay. Yeah.
Transcribe calls in real time.
Wow.
Even offer live language translation.
That would be huge.
Huge, especially for global teams.
Yeah.
I think that's their real opportunity.
What do you mean?
Not just, adding AI because it's trendy.
Right.
But really integrating it into how people work to solve actual business problems.
Yeah, make it useful.
Exactly.
And those industry-specific AI customizations.
Yeah, the ones tailored for different sectors.
Yeah, that's interesting too.
It's a smart move.
Instead of one size fits all.
Yeah, the generic approach.
They're saying, hey, we get healthcare.
Right.
We get finance. We get education.
We understand your unique needs.
And we've got AI tools built just for you.
Exactly. They're positioning themselves as a valuable partner.
A specialist.
A specialist, yeah.
So what other, innovative ways do you think Zoom could use AI to improve their platform and get new customers?
That's a great question. What kind of AI-powered features would you want?
Well, I'm really interested in how AI could change their contact center product.
Okay, interesting.
Imagine, AI chatbots.
Right.
Handling those basic customer questions.
Yeah, the routine stuff.
So human agents can focus on the tougher issues.
That would be more efficient.
Yeah, and hopefully happier customers, too.
Absolutely, and who hasn't been frustrated by those phone menus?
Oh, my gosh.
Or those unhelpful chatbots?
Yeah.
So if Zoom can get that right, that would be huge.
That would be a game changer.
Yeah, it's an area that really needs some disruption. AI could personalize customer service in a way that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they implement it.
Me too. But it's important to remember.
What's that?
Zoom's not alone in this.
Right. There are other players.
The competition's getting tougher.
Yeah, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, Slack.
All the big names.
They all want to be the leader.
They want to dominate,
in workplace communication and collaboration.
And with AI becoming so important, this is only going to get more interesting.
So how do you think this will all play out?
Well, it's going to be a fascinating battle to watch.
Yeah.
Each company has its strengths, right?
Like what?
Microsoft, they've got tons of money.
Yeah.
And a long history with enterprise software.
Okay.
Google, they're amazing at AI and search. Slack, they're strong in certain industries. And people think they're easy to use.
So where does Zoom fit in?
Well, Zoom's challenge is to leverage what they're good at.
Okay.
And also keep innovating.
Stay ahead.
Yeah, stay ahead of everyone else.
They're definitely going to need to be adaptable.
Absolutely.
And quick to respond.
Yeah.
We've seen how quickly things can change.
It's fast-paced. Yeah.
And it's only going to get faster.
With AI advancing so rapidly.
So what are some of the potential problems Zoom needs to avoid?
Okay, that's a good question.
What could trip them up?
One challenge is going from a single product company to a multi-product platform.
Okay.
That's a big shift.
In what way?
It takes different skills, more resources, and a wider vision.
They can't just keep adding new things, right?
Right. They need to create a system where all these products work together seamlessly.
Makes sense.
And actually benefit the customer.
Nobody wants to use a bunch of separate tools.
Exactly, that don't even talk to each other.
Right. So they need to make it easy for people to use and integrate these products into their work.
User experience is key.
Yeah, it's got to be simple.
Intuitive.
Easy to use.
Yeah, whether you're a small business or a huge corporation.
Okay, and they can't forget what they're already good at.
Right. Video conferencing is still their foundation.
Yeah, it's what they're known for.
You need to keep innovating there while also expanding.
It's a tough balance.
It's like they need to appeal to their current customer.
Yeah, the ones who are happy with video conferencing.
While also attracting new customers.
With this bigger platform.
It's like telling two stories at the same time.
That's a good way to put it.
And we can't forget about security.
Right, especially with all this sensitive business data.
Yeah.
Particularly with the AI stuff.
Data breaches are a constant threat.
They are.
One mistake could really hurt them.
It could damage their reputation.
Yeah, and make customers lose trust.
Absolutely. Trust is so important now.
In the digital world, yeah.
Zoom needs to be transparent.
Open about their security.
Yeah, and make sure they have strong measures in place.
To protect customer data.
It's not just about cool features.
Right.
It's about building trust and confidence.
Absolutely.
Speaking of trust, let's back to those share buybacks.
We talked about how they can show confidence in the company.
Yeah.
But some people see them as a way to artificially inflate the stock price.
Okay.
Like a short-term boost.
What do you think about that? I can see both sides. On one hand, it shows they believe in their stock and they want to reward shareholders.
Okay.
But it's also money that could be invested in research, new products, acquisitions.
So there's a trade-off.
Yeah.
Some investors see buybacks as a sign
of what?
That a company doesn't have growth opportunities.
Interesting.
Others see it as a way to give back to shareholders.
Right.
It's about finding that balance.
Yeah.
Short-term gains versus long-term growth.
And we'll have to see what happens with Zoom.
Exactly. Time will tell.
It is interesting, though, that they're doing so many buybacks while also investing heavily in new products and AI.
That's true.
It seems like they think they can do both.
Yeah, it's a bold move.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's definitely a risky strategy.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see if it works.
Okay.
But what I find fascinating is Zoom's operating in an environment where things are constantly changing.
The rules are always changing.
Exactly. The future of work is evolving so rapidly.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of unknowns.
So many unknowns.
Yeah.
That's what makes this so interesting.
I agree.
It's not a static market.
Right.
It's dynamic, always in flux.
Always changing.
Think about how much the way we work has changed.
Yeah.
Just in the past few years.
In such a short time.
And Zoom's been right there leading the way.
They have.
But they can't just sit back and relax.
Right. They can't get complacent.
They have to keep evolving.
Absolutely.
To stay ahead.
That's how you succeed in any industry.
Especially technology.
Yeah. What's cutting edge today might be obsolete tomorrow.
Obsolete tomorrow, yeah.
So what challenges do you see for Zoom moving forward?
What could really trip them up?
Okay. Let me think. What keeps me up at night?
Well, one that comes to mind is talent.
Talent?
Getting and keeping the best people.
Oh, yeah, like engineers, developers.
Yeah, product managers.
All the best people.
They're in high demand.
Oh, yeah, everyone wants them.
The competition is fierce.
It's tough out there.
So Zoom needs to create a culture.
Yeah, a good environment.
Where people want work.
A place that fosters innovation.
Yeah, attract those bright minds.
Otherwise, they risk falling behind.
It all comes back to people, right?
Yeah, talent drives innovation.
And innovation drives growth.
And growth drives shareholder value.
It all starts with the right people.
Without them, it's just an idea.
An idea on a whiteboard.
Exactly, and they're not just competing with other big tech companies.
Right, who else?
Startups.
Oh, yeah.
The exciting new companies.
Pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, of AI and remote work.
And that brings us to another challenge.
Which is?
How work itself is changing.
The nature of work.
Yeah, like how will remote work and hybrid models shape Zoom's future?
Interesting question.
Will they still be the go-to for remote collaboration? Or will new challenges pop up?
Maybe new competitors.
It makes you think.
It does. We're in a world where work and life are blending.
Yeah, the lines are blurred.
And the tools we use for work have to adapt.
They have to keep up.
Zoom needs to anticipate these changes.
Stay ahead of the game.
And come up with solutions that work for a distributed workforce.
Okay. So much depends on whether they can predict and adapt
to these changing needs.
I'm also curious about the competition.
Yeah, beyond the usual suspects.
Yeah, like Microsoft and Google.
Who else could threaten Zoom?
What other companies or technologies should we be watching?
One area to keep an eye on
Yeah.
is immersive technologies.
Like what?
Virtual reality, augmented reality.
Oh, interesting.
They're still early.
Yeah.
But they have the potential to revolutionize remote work.
Really?
Yeah, new ways for people to connect and collaborate.
Wow.
If Zoom's not ready for that, they could get left behind.
That's a good point.
It's not just about beating the current competition.
It's about what's coming next.
The next array.
Being prepared.
Exactly.
I'm also curious about open source platforms.
Okay.
And decentralized technologies.
Interesting.
Could we see a future where communication tools aren't controlled by big companies?
It's possible.
Like Zoom?
The open source movement has already had a big impact.
On software, yeah.
And there's growing interest in decentralized technologies that focus on user privacy and control.
So Zoom needs to be aware of these trends
and
be ready to change their business model.
They want to stay on top.
It's a lot to consider.
It is.
Zoom's facing challenges on multiple fronts.
Yeah, a lot of different things.
Fierce competition, technology that's always changing, work patterns that are evolving,
and new ways of developing and distributing software.
So given all that,
what
do you think are the key factors?
The things that will determine their success or failure.
In the years to come.
What should we be watching closely as they move forward?
What will make or break them?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it gets to the heart of what we're doing here.
With this deep dive.
Yeah, it's not just about understanding the numbers. Or the product announcements.
It's about understanding the bigger picture.
Exactly.
The forces that are shaping the business world.
And how companies like Zoom are responding.
So where do we go from here?
Good question.
What are some key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, I think it's clear that Zoom is at a crossroads.
Yeah, a turning point.
They've been incredibly successful.
They have.
But they're also facing some really big challenges.
Yeah, as they try to change
from a video conferencing company
to a broader platform
for communication and collaboration.
It's a really interesting story.
It is.
They're not just a company.
Right.
They're a reflection of these bigger trends.
Yeah, the trends shaping the future of work.
What they do next and how they do it
will have a big impact
on their own future
and the future of the workplace.
Absolutely. Their stories about more than just money.
Yeah, it's about how we connect with each other.
How we work together.
How we build relationships.
In a world that's becoming more digital.
And that story's still being written.
Yeah, we're watching it unfold.
And we're all part of it.
We're all participants.
It's fascinating to see how Zoom's story is intertwined with these larger trends shaping the future of work.
It is.
As we wrap up this deep dive,
yeah,
what are some of the key questions we should be asking ourselves as we watch this unfold? What should we be paying attention to as Zoom continues to evolve?
Well, I think one of those important questions is how effectively they can integrate AI into their platform.
Not just as a gimmick.
Right. Not just a flashy add-on.
But as a core part of their solutions.
Exactly.
Can they really deliver on the promise of AI?
To enhance productivity, improve customer service.
Create a more seamless and intuitive user experience.
Those are the big questions. That's a great point. It's easy to get caught up in the hype surrounding AI.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
But the real test will be whether Zoom can translate that hype into tangible benefits for their customers.
Real, measurable improvements.
And those benefits will need to be clear and compelling enough to justify the investment, especially in a competitive market where businesses have plenty of options.
They have a lot of choices.
Exactly. And beyond the technology itself, we should also be watching how Zoom adapts its business model to the evolving needs of a hybrid workforce.
How they serve different types of customers.
Can they strike the right balance?
Between large enterprises
who want comprehensive solutions
and small businesses
or individual users
who might be more concerned about price.
That's a tough balance to strike.
It is.
They need to cater to a diverse range of customers
without losing focus.
Without spreading themselves too thin.
Exactly.
It's a challenge a lot of companies face
as they grow and expand.
And of course, we can't forget about the human element. Zoom's success ultimately depends on its ability to attract and retain top talent, foster a culture of innovation, and build trust with its customers.
Those are the foundations.
These are intangible factors, but they're just as important as the technology itself.
Maybe even more important.
Absolutely. It all comes down to execution. Zoom has a compelling vision for the future of work, but they'll need to navigate a complex and ever-changing landscape to make that vision a reality. It's going to be a fascinating journey to watch.
It certainly is. And this deep dive has given us a lot to think about.
We've examined their financial performance, their product strategy, their competitive landscape, and the broader trends shaping their future.
A lot to unpack.
What stands out to you as the most important takeaway from all of this?
I think the biggest takeaway for me is that Zoom is at a pivotal moment. They've achieved incredible success, but they're also facing unprecedented challenges as they try to reinvent themselves for the next chapter of work. Their decisions in the coming months and years will have a significant impact on their trajectory and on the future of the workplace as a whole.
It's a powerful reminder that even the most successful companies need to constantly evolve to stay ahead of the game.
They can't afford to stand still.
And it's a reminder to all of us that the future of work is still being written.
It's an ongoing story.
We have the opportunity to shape that future, not just as observers, but as active participants.
We're all part of it.
What tools will we use? How will we connect and collaborate? How will we balance the demands of work and life in an increasingly digital world? These are questions we all need to be thinking about.
Big questions for the future.
Well said. And we hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought as you continue to explore these questions and navigate the evolving world of work. We encourage you to share your own insights and perspectives, and we look forward to continuing this conversation in future episodes.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Zoom. We'll see you next time.